welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here today. Now today's reading is a monthly reading for September 2025 for the water sign Pisces. Pisces, I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I have shuffled off camera and laid the spread just to save a little bit of time on these monthly readings. For the 10-card Celtic Cross spread, I'm using the Wheel of the Year Tarot deck. I've pulled an additional oracle card that I'll get to after the main reading. That's from the Earth Magic deck. And just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. I do encourage you to watch not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and rising for a more complete overview of the energy surrounding you at this time. If you do enjoy the messages, please do consider giving the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, and it definitely does help the channel. You can also subscribe. That way you'll be notified whenever I post new content, and I'd love to have you here every month. And just, if you are looking for kind of more content, additional sort of shorter videos, daily videos, weekly videos, you can find those on TikTok. So I have at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok. There I do post more regularly, and I usually just do the monthly readings, the longer ones here on YouTube. All right, I think that's it for the messages, so let's jump into it. So you have center of your spread, Pisces, the Six of Swords, okay, and it's crossed by what could help or hinder the Six of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles. So Six of Swords is a card of movement, okay? It's moving on, it's leaving behind choppy waters and heading into calmer waters, representing you, leaving behind a difficult phase of your life, a difficult situation, and heading into, calmer waters, a better time, a better situation. With it being swords represent our thoughts. It's, the suit of the mind, it's communication, communicating our thoughts to other people. But, with this Six of Swords, it's one of the two cards in the tarot that represent movement. And, well, there's also the major arcana, but in the minor arcana, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups. Both of them represent like turning your back, like leaving something behind, heading off in a new direction. And even though you're not entirely sure what lies ahead, you trust that it will be better than what you're leaving behind. So moving out of, one situation, heading into a better one, and that's helped or hindered by this Three of Pentacles. So it could involve working with other people. You could be partnering up with other people, like joining onto a team. The Suit of Pentacles, it has to do with the work that we do. It's also the money that we earn, material possessions here in the physical realm, our home, our family. So it could be and usually the Three of Pentacles, it has to do with like you've reached a certain milestone, but in order to kind of continue or to get to where you want to get to, like up to the Ten of Pentacles, you might need to do something a bit differently. You might need to partner up with other people. So you might be joining a team. You might be entering into like a new job where you're now going to be part of a team. That could have something to do with this moving on. We'll see how it ties in with the rest of the spread. You have more Pentacles energy in the deep past. So foundation, right at the bottom of the spread here, we have the King of Pentacles. Could have been dealing with an older Earth sign individual, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. He's kind of King Midas, right? Everything he touches turns to gold. He's very good at making money, at holding on to money. A very abundant energy with this King of Pentacles. Could have been you in this position in the past. But, there's and you actually have another king. So in the deep past, King of Pentacles, the recent past, the King of Swords, which, this can sometimes show up, the King of Swords, when you're dealing with, like getting good counsel. You might be dealing with like a lawyer, something to do with receiving advice or counsel from somebody, because as the King of Swords, he's very good with his words. He's, obviously very intelligent, very good at communicating. If this is you taking on the energy of these two kings, it could be you could have been focused a lot more on your career, on, upping your finances, on communication. But again, could have been an older individual from each of these signs. But a focus on communication and finances. crowning your reading, we have the High Priestess. She's number 2 of the major arcana. And, you know, the High Priestess is associated with the water sign of Cancer. And she sits between kind of, you know, between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And she encourages us to tap into our own intuition, right? You can see she's holding this secret book of knowledge here. She obviously is seated right on the moon. So there's all these references to like the moon and nighttime. And the moon itself is, you know, we think of it as hiding things. It could be things coming to light, secrets coming to light. So with the High Priestess, she does encourage us to use our intuition, right? To listen to that inner voice, that inner knowing, in order to make a decision, to, you know, to resolve a situation. You're being guided at this time to tap into your intuition. This could also be messages coming through at nighttime in your dreams. Might be a good month for you to keep a dream journal, right? As soon as you wake up in the morning, jot those things down. Yeah, so definitely intuition is key. We have in the near future, major arcana number 20. This is Judgment. And Judgment has to do with, it's associated with your fellow water sign, Scorpio, but it has to do with, it can be a judgment call, a very difficult decision. It can be a do-over. It can be getting a call back, right? So it could be going back to work somewhere where you've worked in the past. Although with this moving on at the center, I feel that it's not necessarily going back. It could be reconnecting with people from the past. You might be reconnecting, especially with this team of people, this 3. That could be a reconnecting with team members from the past or people that you used to work with in a previous job. So there might be some type of reconnection that way. But it could also be a difficult decision, right? This judgment call, so needing to make a difficult decision. You show up in the spread as the 9 of Pentacles, so more Pentacles energy here. And this is like the self-reliant, self-sufficient bachelor or bachelorette energy. You know, you've put in the effort, you've worked long and hard, and you're now starting to see the fruits of your labor. You can see that the vines are laden with grapes and with coins. So, you know, you're very prosperous. You are definitely kind of on the right track to get to that 10 of Pentacles. And in your environment, what's surrounding you, you have this beautiful energy of the Star card. This is major arcana number 17, associated with the air sign of Aquarius. This is wish fulfillment, right? It's you've set your intentions, you've put them out into the universe, and then trusted that, you know, the universe would provide. So wish fulfillment, wish upon a star. It's also a card of healing. That could be healing, you know, physically healing, emotionally, you know, healing with the Star card showing up. But there's, you know, wish fulfillment in your environment. We have hopes and fears, the 4 of Wands. And then outbound energy as you head into the next month, we have the 2 of Chalices or 2 of Cups. This is beautiful with these 2 showing up, one right after the other as well. For some of you, that could be marriage coming in. If not marriage, then an engagement. You could be moving in with somebody. The 4 of Wands can be moving home, moving into a home with another person. It can be buying a home. It's also the sort of this opening of a portal. It's the 1111 card. 4s in the tarot are very stable energy as well. So it's, you know, to do with, especially with it being Wands, it could be something to do with like your finances or the job that you do that's really positioning you to be able to have this type of, you know, happy home life like you're seeing here. So, you know, possibly moving home. And then with the 2 of Cups, this can, you know, it's the minor arcana version of the Lovers. So it's that soulmate connection. For some of you, you might be meeting your soulmate at this time, getting into a relationship. For others, you might be, you know, taking this relationship to another level with this 4 of Wands showing up. And then we have bottom of the deck, overall energy for the month. You have the minor arcana version of the Star card. This is the 9 of Cups. So you have the major arcana and minor arcana of the Star card. So wish fulfillment. So definitely, you know, for some of you, there are wishes coming true this month. There's moving on. possibly, you know, needing to work with other people, reconnecting with other people. There could be a significant decision that needs to be made. Could be surrounding your home where you're living. You might be, you know, needing to move home. Could be because of this new job, like moving to a new location. But, you know, your finances look great. You're being guided to, you know, if you do have to make a decision, right, with this Judgment card, really listen to your intuition, right? So that first thing when you think about, or, you know, you try to imagine yourself in the new house, in the new job, you know, that first thing that comes to mind, like that's what you need to pay attention to. That's that gut feeling. That's your intuition kicking in, not when your brain starts thinking things over and, you know, the second or third or fourth idea. No, that's your brain that's at work. It's that gut feeling. Pay attention to that. How does it make, you know, try to envision yourself in that situation, in that job, in that house. How do you feel? What is the message that's coming through? That's what you need to pay attention to. And we have, interesting, as your oracle card message is River, and it's called Movement, and we had movement at the center of your spread. So let me go ahead. I'll read a portion of the description from the guidebook, because the way that this guidebook is set up, it has kind of 2 pages about River, right, about whatever the main topic of the card is, and then it will have like another page that is on the message, so in this case the message of movement. So I will just read that, otherwise it turns into a very long description. Okay, so the movement, it says, fighting or blocking the flow of your life force can lead you to feeling spiritually void and disconnected from source. Just like the metaphor of the river, it does not work to force or fight this compelling movement. When you simply pay attention and observe the flow, it becomes easier to navigate your experiences and see what lies ahead, or at least get a sense of what is to come by the ever-changing geography that unfolds as you cruise along. Your resistance is hampering your ability to make a choice in this matter. Surrender to the movement of life, be grateful, and you will see the signs along the shore and in the river itself that offer you clues about what direction your egoless self is to be making. Go with the flow is more than a trite aphorism here. It is essential that you do so now. Breathe, relax, and you will know. And that ties in perfectly with not just this 6 of Swords, but also this knowing, right? This inner knowing with the High Priestess, definitely. So powerful messages coming in for you this month, Pisces. I do hope that they've helped. I thank you for joining me here today. Look forward to reading for you again next month. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful September. Bye for now.